What's up, man? Welcome to the Good Morning Man podcast, season 2, episode 5, with your guy, Roland Monroe. And of course, you're tuning into the Good Morning Man podcast, where we laugh through life, we learn from it, and we also lift each other up in the process. Now, today we're talking about the time that I thought drugs was going to help me escape. And I really did. I really thought drugs was going to help me escape myself. Spoiler alert, they did not. But what did they do? What did they do? They taught me a whole lot about pain, about people, and about, rising from the ashes. So go ahead, buckle up. I'm taking y'all through the dark, the funny, and the light. Let's jump into the escape plan that failed. See, if I could be honest, I wasn't using drugs to get high. I was actually using drugs to disappear. I didn't want to feel nothing. I was like, let me just, take the edge off. But the edge turned into a whole damn blade. I'm serious. It turned into a whole blade. Y'all, I still remember sitting on the couch, zoned out and lit, turned up, whatever you want to use, and swearing I was on stage at the BET Awards like I was real life thinking I was Jay-Z or, somebody, and you really couldn't, at that time, you really couldn't tell me anything. You really couldn't tell me anything. But behind all of that, behind that high, was a whole lot of hurt. It was a whole lot of hurt, and I really wasn't ready to face it. I really wasn't ready to face it. And you may be in a space where things you're dealing with or an addiction that you have that you're not ready to face, but you just have to make the decision. I'm going to face it. I'm going to talk about the crash and burn. This is like 2018. Years go by. It got ugly real fast. In one moment, I was just trying to cope. And then the next thing, I realized I ain't even recognizing myself in the mirror anymore. I was looking for joy in a place that joy didn't live. There was this moment, and I remember it. I remember it vividly. I remember sitting in the trap house in Memphis, and I ain't gonna even lie. I'm just looking around at everybody, and I saw it. I saw trauma in every face. Folks laughing, drinking, snoring, getting high, talking loud. But behind those eyes, I saw pain, man. And it hit me like, bro, this ain't where you supposed to be. Thank you, God, for that. It's like, this ain't where you supposed to be. This is not who you are supposed, to become. And let me talk about the unexpected gifts that came from those situations and the things and people that I've met. So it wasn't all bad. And I ain't gonna just say it was all bad, because it wasn't. It wasn't all bad. That season broke me though, but it also shaped me. I know it sounds crazy, but it did, because I met people in the trenches who had the most beautiful souls, man. They had the most beautiful souls. And some of them, you know who you are, and if you're listening, I'm proud of you if you're taking the high road. We sit there high as hell. We be talking about life. We even talked about God, and we talked about dreams. And what I realized as I look back, I found myself motivating them, although quiet as it kept, somewhere I was motivating me. And that's when it clicked. Even when I was lost, I still had purpose. Even when I was broken, I still could be a blessing. And I think that's why I'm getting so blessed now, because I never gave up on being a blessing to someone else, even in the midst of what looks like failing myself. Let's talk about the rise, rising like a phoenix. Pulling myself out wasn't no overnight thing. It was small decisions, reading books. It was small decisions, writing. It was choosing to cry instead of numbing myself. Remember that, jot that down. It was listening to motivational speakers like Les Brown and Bob Proctor when I wanted to give up. It was talking to God with drugs in my hand like, you still love me. And somehow, somewhere, and you should too, I knew he did. You know what I mean? Now, I ain't rise all pretty either. You know, I came up out that mess still with ashes on me. I got burnt too. But I rose, though. But I rose, and you can rise too. I know you can because it's in you, and that's why you're here. That's why you're here. It ain't all bad. We can overcome anything if we believe. Now, let's reflect. This is for you, and I want you to really, really listen because I really don't know who needs to hear this, but I want to tell you, you are not your darkest day. You are not your darkest day. You are not your mistakes. You're not what they said about you. You're not. I used to believe that, but you're not. You're a phoenix, and you're built to rise again and again. No matter how many times I fall, I'm getting up. No matter how many times you fall, you're getting up, and I know that you can. So let's breathe together. Close your eyes if you can, and if you can't, just close them in your mind. Let's do an affirmation with intention. I want you to inhale peace. Think about peace. We're going to exhale shame. Let it go. Let it go. Inhale power. Exhale fear. Repeat after me. Repeat after me. I am not my past. I am my power. I rise again and again. Let this sit in your mind. I rise again and again. Yeah, I needed that. I hope you needed that. And if you did need it, thank you for rocking with me on the Good Morning Man podcast. Share this with somebody who needs to know they can rise too, that they are not where they are where they want to be. You are what you see. How do you see yourself get there? You might be in the dark, but there is a light. You are not alone. I'm here for you. Drop some comments. Follow the Good Morning Man podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. Activate the notifications, so that you can grow with me. Because I'm still growing and I'm learning and I'm sharing and I can learn from you. You know what I mean? I need you. We need each other. I got more stories to tell. I got more people I'm going to bring on board. So right now it's just me, but we have room to bloom. This is your season. This is your season. But until then, I want you to be good to yourself. Rise up. And as always, remember, in the words of Les Brown, every day is a good day when you create it in your mind. Key. Let's rise, man.